I used to be really, I'm a people pleaser. So I used to be kind of really caught up in the, oh, I can't leave. I have to take care of my husband and my kids. But once they got a little older, but I reached a point where I was like, my husband deploys.
So much. Calling all professional neurodiverse mamas seeking to reclaim their time, energy, and focus. I have a special invitation for you. The Simplified Schedules Mini-Course will help you to uncover the top 3 things your neurodiverse brain needs to slay your day and reduce overwhelm instantly. This is the one mini course you need to get your life together without quitting your job or leaving your family. You'll also be able to leave this course with an actionable plan to create that flow and freedom you so desperately deserve. So if you're ready to learn, take action, and create flow, then you can learn more at thecharmedlife.me/simplified me. Make sure to download your copy, tell a sister friend, and I'll see you there. Welcome to We Ain't Normal. My name is Charmaine Fuller, and I'm an everyday mom sharing how I navigate my ADHD brain. Each week, we share tools, inspiration, and resources to help you uncover how to reclaim your time, energy, and focus. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Now on to our show. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the We Ain't Normal show. This is the space for professional neurodiverse moms to learn how to get their entire life together. And what more important than the type of fun that you bring to your own life. And today I have Rae on the phone with me. She is the head lady in charge at Murder Mystery Mayhem.
Yep. Murder and Mayhem.
Murder and Mayhem. And what she does is so much fun. I wish we were closer because I would totally do one because I love murder mysteries. But we're going to talk about today how to incorporate, whether you want to do a murder mystery or you want to go on a haunted hayride or you just want to sit and read a book, figuring out your fun. And so we're going to dig into that today because I know you ladies are just as thinky as I am. And thinking about fun when you're all business sometimes feels impossible. Rae, could you share a little bit about who you are and how you even got into creating space for yourself?
Yeah. So, like you said, my name is Rae Walaska. I'm a military spouse. I'm a mom and I'm an entrepreneur. My business focuses on doing murder mystery entertainment. We do murder mystery parties, true crime tours, ghost tours, history tours. So for me, work is about providing fun for other people. And after, I would say about this year, I realized that while I was doing a great job providing fun for others, for 2023, I decided I wanted to focus on experiences and fun for myself. And that kind of goes back to a couple of years ago, we lived in Italy and housing there is so much smaller. Our kids had so much stuff. And we decided rather than buying more crap for our kids that they're going to play with for like a week and then get.
If even, girl, come
right,
on now.
Exactly. So while we were there, we decided for Christmas, we were doing experiences. And we have held to that ever since we moved to Italy in 2017. And every year at Christmas, we would travel somewhere. And now that we're back stateside, we have our kids get a card, and inside it is a list of experiences. So last year, our kids were gifted medieval times, Disney, Jaguar tickets to a football game. And so it's all about experiences and spending time as a family too.
Yes. Yeah. Isn't that what life should be about? But we so often get caught. I know for me, it's so easy, especially when you love what you do. It's so easy to get caught up in the next thing and forget about the experience piece of it and being an entrepreneur. Like it feels like, okay, I'll have fun when.
Right.
How did you break that cycle of, well, I'll have fun when? Because I know it's like making the decision is one thing, but you actually took action on creating a more experience-based life for yourself with a lot more joy.
Yeah, well, and it for me is kind of the light bulb went off when my husband and I were working on those cards for our kids, and I thought, why aren't we doing this for ourselves also? Like, I don't need junk. And like you had mentioned, you get so caught up in our businesses when we're entrepreneurs. And so I really decided to be more intentional about that. I actually built in Canva a vision board for my phone. And so
Wow.
when I open my home screen for my phone, my vision board pops up. And in 2023, my on here it says I want to do more of what I love and I want to do big things. And so some of these are big, some are actually small. Like I love to roller skate. So that I have a roller skate on my vision board because I want to be more intentional in hitting up our local skating rink and doing it. I have an airplane on there because I love to travel and I want to do more of
Yes.
that. There's I love to cycle, so I have a picture of a bike, a picture of my family, and then of course, I got a lady holding some dollar bills so I can make some money in my business.
So you can keep having fun,
Exactly.
So that part about creating, like, I love the idea of creating the vision board for your phone. And just, it has to be intentional. It's something about being a grown up where fun now has to be intentional. When you were a kid, it was like, well, at least when you and I were kids, it was like, it's summer, you're going outside, you are staying outside, you are possibly not coming in as the street lights come on. And like you just had such a vivid imagination, but it's something about adulthood that zaps that. And so you have to be intentional
Exactly.
or it's
Yep.
not going to happen, period.
I feel like as an adult, we have so many more responsibilities, and particularly often as moms, we make sure that we fill everyone else's cup before we fill our
Yes.
own. And so definitely going into this year, like I shared my intentions with my spouse, my husband. I shared them with a friend who I know loves to go do stuff. And so her and I try to every month do a girls event, whether it be just going to a movie, we're both entrepreneurs. Sometimes we go do networking. Um, we're talking about maybe this month doing a craft. And then we've also discussed like traveling to a concert together, or she said she wants to do more comedy shows. And so
Yeah.
by bringing other people in to help hold me accountable and like you said, help
Yes.
make sure it happens, that I think makes it even more fun too.
So, ladies, I want you to hear this. You have to be clear. That is the vision, that is the plan to have that in place. And you have to communicate that with the people that are on your team, AKA your family. Because I don't know about your family, but I know when I start talking about experiences, that's the family meeting everybody wants to come to. They want to come to the family meeting where we're talking about the next trip or we're talking about the next day go-karting or something like that. Like they're all in for those.
Exactly. And also, how you were saying, like, how do you make sure you do it? The other thing is I signed up for a whole bunch of email lists, like our local theaters.
Oh,
I signed up for our local concert venues. So
so did
that
I.
helps
Yeah.
keep it top of mind because when those things pop up, I look then versus when I wasn't on those lists, I wasn't looking, I wasn't seeing. I've kind of set like a sub goal of trying to make sure I do one thing every month. And that has really helped also because I'm very, kind of forward thinking like, okay, well, what am I doing this month? Or, okay, I have July taken care of. So what's going to be happening in August?
That's the point I'm trying to get you. I'm good right now. That's the point I'm working toward is having something each month. I'm really good at, okay, 3 months from now, we're going to do this. And it's like, I could totally do the same thing. Like, 3 months from now, July, August, September, I could plan out my September, then plan out, what I'm gonna do in October. When you live in a state, you kind of know what's going on and you create those experiences.
Yeah. We even, let's see, it was Thursday last week. I won tickets to a concert.
Isn't it funny how when you do start becoming more intentional about your experiences and your fun, how things just seem to appear
Yes.
like it. Go ahead.
No,
No.
I was to say exactly. I mean, it wasn't planned. I won tickets the morning of the concert. And I got two. So then I had to decide which of my children were my favorite. Just kidding. But right, we didn't let the opportunity pass us. I talked to my oldest because I didn't think it was necessarily going to be for him, and explained to him like, hey, would you be okay if I asked your brother? I did hop online too and look like, are there other tickets available nearby that if everyone wants to go, can we buy more? But everyone was in
Right.
agreement. Like, it was going to be me and my youngest son going to the concert. If it had come to punches being thrown, then I was like, I'll just ask a girlfriend to go with instead. But
Right. Yeah, that is, and how do I say this? Having fun is so underplayed. And just how you feel after you've had an experience. I mean, the clarity that comes to you after you've stepped away from everything, be it for 24 hours or for 2 weeks, like the amount of clarity that comes to you is just like so fabulous, right?
exactly. And, for instance, the concert last week, we actually had a family emergency take place in our household the weekend, Memorial Day weekend, the weekend before. And so it was almost like the universe was giving this to us knowing that we needed it. Our lives were just kind of thrown in the air, and it was, try to catch it as it falls down. We had some family visiting, and they had a major medical incident, and now they're having to stay with us for about a month. And
Oh,
so
wow.
it, like I said, just really kind of threw our household in an uproar. But it just happened at the right time. We needed that getaway, and there it was.
Yeah, I always a work in progress and is adding that in and discovering and not and being okay. Here's the thing, being okay with loving to roller skate this month and next month or next quarter, you're like, yeah, I tried that. I want to do something else. Being okay with trying new things. I've had to get, because my daughter is on the spectrum and she kind of likes doing the same thing. And so this is a way like, well, we're going to try something different, you know,
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah, but trying something different and realizing that you don't have to be forever connected to an activity, that this is the entire part of exploration and getting to see what you like and getting to see what the family can do together and giving your kids like a different set of life experiences that they can pull from. It's just so important.
Yeah. And for instance, like with our kids, we definitely through these experiences, that's been really key to us is new stuff because you just don't know. And so like last year, in 2022, we had gifted them NASCAR race tickets. We're not NASCAR fans. Like, we're not. But it was one of those things where it was like, what is something different we can expose them to that, who knows, maybe they are NASCAR fans. This year, they were able to go to like I said, a Jaguars football game in January. Again, we don't watch football, but
But
but not only were these tickets an experience, they were kind of a lesson and a choice for our kids. Well, it turns out when we had bought the tickets, we got them on Black Friday for like $40.
oh,
Well,
wow.
the Jaguars were actually doing really good, and we had tickets to what turned out to be a final playoff game. And if they won that game, they were going to move on in the playoffs. And so the value of our tickets skyrocketed to over $400 each.
Get
No,
out.
so we gave our kids the option. Do you want to go to this game or do you want to cash in these tickets and take the money? They chose to go to the game.
Bless their heart, because from a grown-up point of view, I'm like, I'm about to
I
cash
know.
this
I
mug
was
in.
gonna. I'm not a football fan at all, but let me tell you, it was an amazing game. The Jags won, and so we were all so excited. We actually went, but it was kind of an adult lesson there. Like, hey, you've got these tickets. You're not really a football fan. What do you want to do? And I was so proud of them for choosing to go to the game so they could have the experience to just take the cash.
Exactly. What is the most memorable experience that you've had either by yourself, with a girlfriend, or with your family that still brings like oh my gosh, that was so awesome? Was the game it?
I would actually say My most memorable experience is when we lived in Europe and the traveling there. Um, we visited 25 different countries. And so the memories that we created with our kids are just truly like priceless. I remember, I think it was our first month when we had moved to Italy, we were out exploring and we were still new to Italian driving. And let me tell you, Italian driving is like being at a NASCAR race. And so as soon as we got our vehicle parked when we were staying the night in this town, we like parked it and we're like, we are walking from here on because we weren't used to the driving yet. And I have this beautiful photo of my husband, our two boys, and our dog walking down this cobblestone street in Italy. And those are the moments that, like, for me, are some of the most amazing. I've been very lucky that I've had a very full life. I played roller derby for 7 years. I got
Wow.
to was on some really great teams that went to tournaments. Like some of those memories are just when I was able to, kind of pursue my hobbies and interests, but also be a mom and be a wife. Um, just been very lucky to, like I said, to have such a full life.
Yes, and just remembering that that was intentional. It just didn't happen. The break just didn't come. It was something that you had to create.
Yes.
And I want to keep driving that home is that you might be listening thinking like, oh my God, well, that's just great. Like she has all this time. That's beautiful. She has all of this. She has all of that. A lot of the things that you've even talked about were just like really simple things. um it everything didn't cost you guys money, and there's so many different ways that you can have fun, especially, well, I'm in Michigan, so we can find fun all year round no matter the weather. But a lot of the states and cities and things of that nature have so many free programs for you to try out, or low cost. In the summer there are parks, there's water sports. If you have a beach near you, that is free 99. You know, Adding some of those things into your day and making it intentional.
Yeah. And some,
How did
oh, I
you
was going to
go
say
ahead?
how you were talking about even stuff in your community. A lot of times, say like you have a zoo or a museum, a lot of
Yes.
times they'll offer certain free days of the week, or if you have a membership to one, they might have a reciprocity deal with another, or like half price tickets. And I also had seen recently that Bank of America, if you have a Bank of America card, they have, I can't remember if it's free or discounted admission to like hundreds of museums. I had actually, my mom has a card through them and I just forwarded that to her and I was like, hey, we need to look into if any of these are local, to take the kids to.
Girl, let's not even talk about museums. So here in Michigan, in Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb County, as long as you're like a taxpayer in any of those counties, you can visit like the DIA, Detroit Institute of Arts, for free. You just print out this little thing online, and then all of our parks in the summer have that reciprocity. So you can go to your local library and you can get the pass to go to that park for the day
That
for
is super
free.
cool.
Yeah, that's a lot of, and I pack a bag, we go out, and like you were saying, the zoos and stuff, you buy a membership to one, and like you said, the reciprocity, it just, you can go to different places or get those discounts. So there is no reason for you not. We just gave you ladies some specific recreational activities that you can begin to use either by yourself, because I have been to the zoo by myself because I am
I'm
that
too.
girl. I would go to Disney by
I
myself.
travel by myself. That's another
Yeah.
thing that I would truly mention. I used to be I'm a people pleaser. So I used to be kind of really caught up in the, oh, I can't leave. I have to take care of my husband and my kids, blah, blah, blah. And,
Yes.
and yes, I will admit once they got a little older, but I reached a point where I was like, my husband deploys and I realize it's for work and he has like, he has to, he doesn't. And so,
Right.
my work for most of my tours operate in San Diego, California, and I live in Jacksonville, Florida. And so for the longest time, I ran everything completely long distance, but I finally gave myself the permission to travel without, like, I was like, my family's not going to keel over, though I will admit they usually get injured while I'm gone. That's the running joke. Mom's leaving, who's getting hurt this time? But once I gave myself that permission, it was so freeing. And I've learned that I
Yes.
actually love to solo travel. And so I may be traveling for work, but I'll go to shows on my own, or I'll book
Yes.
tickets. I attend conferences. And so, like, I had a conference in Vegas, and I was like, I want to go see Cirque du Soleil. So I booked a ticket by myself. Like, it is I sometimes like traveling by myself more because my interests often are different from my children, and I have to cater to them. Where when I'm traveling by myself, I can do whatever
Yeah.
the hell I want.
And if you notice that traveling as a mom, you are still doing mom shit.
Right.
So it's not like, it's really, as a parent, it's not like we're
No,
really on
right.
vacation,
We're
because we
still
still,
working.
we have to make sure people are right. We have to make sure people are fed. We have to make sure nobody jumps off of anything. And it's still, we're still on. And I notice when I travel by myself, I'm so much more
Yeah.
present. I'm much more relaxed. It's just like a whole different game. My goal is to get away every 90 days. So far, I'm at twice a year, where I just pack up and I tell my family deuces, and I go someplace different that maybe I wouldn't have went to, whether I'm staying in a Verbo or I'm actually, and a lot of times I don't even leave the state. Like, I found a Verbo somewhere and I stay in this Verbo
Yeah,
and
or
then
it's
I
kind of like a
explore.
staycation. So you're not that far
Yeah.
away, just in case they need you. But
Yep.
you've got, like I said, we're off. We have that peace. We can, if we want to read, whatever we want to do.
I want to lay in my bed and eat Cheetos by
Right.
myself without somebody asking, what
Right.
do I
And then
have?
having to give it to them because you feel guilty.
Oh my gosh. I'm like a recovering people pleaser myself. I say that's probably worse than a drug addiction, but you know, it's like I had the same struggle you had, which was, oh my God, I can't go on vacation by myself, because how dare I leave my kids and not give them this experience? Like, what type of mom would I be if I like, and then it's like, wait a minute, chick, you need to go before you kill them all. Like, you cannot take them with you. And I started going on my own trips when I was at wit's end. Now I just go because they're fun and they have fun with my husband. And like you said, somebody either gets hurt or something is just
Right.
life. And, but I don't care. My husband is former military too. He can sew stuff up. He can take care of stuff. So I know they're
Exactly.
fine.
No, and I have two boys, and I feel that it's really important to show them that, when they get older and get into a relationship, that it's fair for their wife or significant other to have their own life
Yes.
too. And
Yes. And that her job is not to cater to them all the
exactly. And
time.
so I try to really be cognizant of some of that. Like, what sort of examples am I setting for my kids? Well, I want them to see two parents that are still, thriving in their hobbies and loving what they do, and also, living a life together, but also being okay with living a life apart.
Yes. And I didn't see that growing up. I don't know about you, but my mom was not traditional, but she worked all the time. And she really didn't have any hobbies. Like, now that she's retired, now she has hobbies. But like when I was a kid, I don't remember her doing anything fun. I don't even remember her really going out with girlfriends. Like, if she went out with girlfriends, we went
Yeah,
with
and
her,
so I grew up with a
you know?
single mother, and so I didn't even necessarily see healthy version of the family dynamic. My mom did get remarried, and unfortunately, it started as a good relationship and ended as a bad relationship. And so again, was kind of exposed to some really negative dynamics there. And then she stayed kind of single for majority of the time through my childhood. So yeah, it was kind of, as a single parent, my mom was completely devoted to either working or our needs because she didn't have that outside help. So I think that, like I said, kind of finding myself, and it's not easy as a parent. And I know, especially when the kids
No,
are little, I mean, yeah, you're devoted to them, but and not trying to
most
be
definitely.
like, I have one friend who, she is so fortunate, she has younger kids, but she has a nanny, so she's able to do a lot of the travel, take care of her business, all of that. Well, I would venture to guess most of us don't have nannies, so we're not in those positions. But I would say once your kids are old enough, don't let that hold you back. Don't continue how you were. Make that intention to have the life that that maybe you set to the side while you were raising your children.
And there's so many ways to even do it when your kids are younger. If you can't take, I was telling one mom, I said, if you can't take a full day and you don't feel like you can go on vacation yet, I said, start off with just finding someone, if you can, to like watch them for the day and then go do something during the day. Or while they're at school, I
Yeah,
had so much fun when my kids were in school. While they're in school, I would take a day off from work and it would just be my day.
that's a great idea.
It would just be
Yeah.
my day.
And if you have
Yeah.
super young kids, maybe find another mom that you could trade babysitting with. So,
Yes, I've done that. That military life has you. It's like something about the moms there get it
well, a
that we're
lot of
all
times we
just
don't have
tired.
family nearby to help either, which can be,
Exactly.
and babysitters nowadays are not cheap. So I get,
No,
where if
ma'am.
people are like, I don't have family, I don't have the support, I don't have the funds. Well, find another mom who's in a similar situation and do some trades. Like, hey, I'll watch your kids for, 4 hours tonight so you can go, grab some dinner by yourself, catch a movie, whatever it might be. And then if you watch my kids for 4 hours, like those are the best. I was part of a mom's club that
Yes.
they actually had a ticket system for babysitting hours. And we earned tickets for watching other people's kids. And then we spent our tickets when people watched
Wow.
our kids. And to me, it was like the best concept ever. We lived in Washington, D.C. during that time. And sitters there were really hard to come by because it's a lot of executives.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a movie called Single Moms Club, which was similar to that, where the moms, so they could have their own life, they watched each other's kids. They took rotating turns. It was four girlfriends. And they watched each other's kids so they could have
Yeah,
life.
it's, just like they say, it takes a village. Well, it does. So build your
Yes.
village.
And stop thinking that you have to hire out. Like your next best, babysitter could be
Right.
your kid's friend's mom, you know, or something like that. And you can like barter. Bartering is not dead, ladies.
Yeah,
Barter.
exactly. I joined locally a Facebook group that's for bartering, and people will post out there like what they do for a living, and then, or if they're looking for something. And it's been super interesting because there are people who are like, I'm a photographer, I'm looking for this. Well, who doesn't need photos taken, So yeah, even check.
Yeah.
There might be, like you said, like a single mom's Facebook group, or it could be a bartering group in your community. You never know.
You never know. So, Rae, I want to know a bit more about the murder mystery piece. Like, ladies, if you're thinking about something, I know this, I love what you do. And I love the whole concept of it and how you got into it. Share a bit more about the murder mayhem and what that's like and
Yeah,
where you
so
are.
kind of sticking with our theme of fun, I have always loved true crime, serial killers, just kind of, let's
Yes.
say, the macabre, the obscure. Those are things that have always intrigued me. Matter of fact, when I was in high school, I took speech and we had to write like give an informational speech, and so my informational speech was on Jeffrey Dahmer. Then we had to do a persuasive speech. And, when you do a persuasive speech, you have to give the side you're for, and then, an argument for why the opposing side might, present. I give that on cannibalism, like really weird, odd things that probably all my teachers thought I was going to be a serial killer. On the flip side too, I was always interested in like the Fibonacci theorem, which is based on numbers and math. And so, like I said, just really odd things have to me, catch my interest. And so it's not really surprising that, I'm a military spouse, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I'm starting to go a little bonkers. I need to do something. So I decided I'm going to start my own business. And with that, I end up launching the murder mystery parties. I start writing them. I'm having a blast. And at one point, we decide, well, let's turn this into tours too. So we launched a murder mystery scavenger hunt. It was a hit. And from there, we launched our first true crime tour. Then we went to paranormal tours, so ghost tours. And we've got some history tours. And so those are in San Diego. And then I'm now in Jacksonville. And I thought, gosh, I should start launching tours here. So in February of this year, we launched our first true crime tour here in Jacksonville. And I'm just really excited. I have so much fun researching and putting these events together. In San Diego, we operate 7 days a week. I have a crew of guides there. Here in Florida,
Wow.
I give the tours on Fridays and Saturdays. And I'm also building some partnerships with other local businesses. We have this really cool candy shop here in Jacksonville, and it's called Sweet Pete's, and it's in a 20,000 square foot Victorian building. And so, exactly.
Oh, history.
It's amazing. It used to be the Seminole Club. So it was the boys club, but it has stories and it's supposedly haunted. And so we're working on putting together a spirits and spirits event where you'll get to come and drink, have dessert, and ghost hunt.
Wow. That is awesome. I cannot. So now I know what to have my family do because we have family in Florida. What to do when we go there because nobody likes Disney but me, but that's okay. But something different. So if you're looking for something different to do, definitely check Rae out in San Diego and in Jacksonville. And then how can they find you in these social media
if you
streets?
just, plug in murder, the letter N like Nancy, and then with an apostrophe, and then Mayhem, Mayhem. You'll find all of our socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram. We have a TikTok account. It's not that impressive, but we are on all the platforms and just really love doing the parties. We also have murder mystery parties that we ship all over the U.S.
Wait a minute.
So
What is?
they're
Hold
like
on.
a
Wait. What is
game.
that?
We're like a live game of Clue. We have a bunch of themes, and you and your friends dress up, play characters, and play this game that we've created.
Wait a minute. So I don't have to think about anything for like a girlfriend game night.
We do, girls' night. We have people with family reunions. We do a lot of corporate team building. What else? I've actually I custom wrote one for a lady's wedding reception. And so I've done birthday parties. Again, we have some that are set themes. I can also customize. I had a gal contact me who was like, I'm a huge Gilmore Girls fan. Will you write me a Gilmore Girls murder mystery party? I was like, sure, why not? So we put together a Gilmore Girls one for her.
That is so awesome. So as you see, there are so many different ways to have fun. Thank you so much, Rae, for joining us today and for sharing ways, like really simple ways that we can begin to incorporate fun, become more intentional about having fun, and even engaging our families into this practice so that we can have more present, happy moments and not just moments in passing with our life and with the lives with our loved ones. I I hope you enjoyed today's episode and it freed you to see your life a bit differently. Make sure to check out those show notes in the description for a full rundown of today's episode with all the important links and resources. If you want weekly exclusive episodes with me personally, make sure to sign up for my Simplify My Life newsletter. I'd love to know what you enjoyed about this episode, so leave a review to let me know how I can continue to support you. So Mama, I want you to know, you're doing much better than you think. You're further than you believe, and you're worthy to have it all. So until next time, stay weird and keep doing you, babe. Coming up next time on the We Ain't Normal show.
If I don't need to do something, I don't force myself to do it because I have space and I don't overbook or overload myself. That was something I used to do all the time, and I couldn't. So I became the queen of no. When we realize that we're not in the best, let's say, place of employment where we feel fulfilled, where we're working, it's important to thank that opportunity anyway. Like, be grateful that you have that job at 9 to 5 because that's still giving you stability.
Yes.
And still pursue your passion thereafter.
Want more of this episode? Make sure your podcast notifications are on and you're a part of the We Ain't Normal family by going to thecharmedlife.show to get weekly podcast updates and notifications. I'll see you there.